Using web browser, there are two primary websites which you can manage your Azure assets, Azure resources. The first one is the classic manage.windowsazure.com. The classic portal has a list on the left hand side with all the resources that you can create, including the settings down here. And if you click on settings, it's going to give you a subscription information, subscription ID, the account administrator. You can also add additional administrators to this subscription. If you're working with a partner, you would like to give them access to your Azure Pass, you can add additional accounts here. And here's the add button. We're going to go ahead and create a storage account. Now notice on the left hand side you can scroll up and down and look at the different resources you can create. Now it depends on the resource you pick. For example, a storage resource. We can use a create storage account. Fill in what we want to use for our storage account name. And if it has not yet been used, you will see a green check mark. If it has already been allocated, you will need to come up with something unique. The location of this resource and the setup, we'll talk more about this later. And go ahead and click on create one. Now you'll notice that there is a bar that goes animated to show you that something's going on. If you click on it, it will tell you what is happening right now. Now the screen will refresh once the storage account is provisioned, and you'll see that it's listed here. Status is currently online. It's located in Central US. It's billed against the subscription Azure Pass. Now you can click on OK to dismiss the message. The second user interface is called the new portal. Now you will have a link to the new portal when you're in the classic portal, or you can just type in portal.azure.com. The first screen you see here is called the dashboard. It can easily be customized with additional tile you may find useful, or you can close out tiles that you don't use frequently. And you can also drag these things around. Now later on, when we create additional resources, you'll find that there's almost always a checkbox that asks you whether or not you want to include the blade onto the dashboard. So the dashboard is this thing that we're looking at right now. And on the left hand side there's a new, and there's this hamburger menu that will shrink this. Now the new portal uses a horizontal scrolling design. So whenever you click on, for example, let's create a new resource. Actually, you know what, let's go to the all resources, and you'll see that it starts to fill the main area with information. And we do have a storage account. You can see the one we created in the classic portal shows up here, and it does indicate it's a classic provisioned storage account. So if I click on it, now I want to emphasize that this is scrolling horizontally. So in other words, we can drag this and go back to our resources, and we can also minimize a blade so it becomes vertical, and click on it again, expand the blade so that minimizes it. You can also maximize it or close out the blade altogether. Now if you close out the parent, it also closes out all the children blade at the same time. So now let's go back to all resources. Now it depends on your selection. The blade expands further to the right. Now on top there is the name of the resource, the settings. Now almost all these things that looks like hot links, they usually are. Okay, so these are things you can click on and it will expand the blade further. Alright, and you can see that your user interface grows horizontally. Now, if you come across an important resource that you would like to keep them in the dashboard, there is a link right there to say pin blade to dashboard. And if you do that, you go back to the portal and you will find the blade shows up right here. So whatever blade you would like to see as a tile, you can use that pin icon and pin it onto your dashboard. So it's easily accessible. Now, let's go and create a new item. So there is a new. Now this will list some of the most common resources you can provision. And let's go and create a web mobile. So this creates a web application. Now the name here is going to be publicly visible. The resource group will group related services into something that's easy to analyze in terms of billing, in terms of dependencies. Now I'm going to create a new resource group. Now this specifies where will the resources be provisioned automatically. This is the instance that will be used to provide the web application service. So this is D1. And there's a checkbox to pin to dashboard. Now when you click on the create, again this little notification tell you things are happening. Now while this web application is being provisioned, notice there is a subscription link down here that can show you your subscription information, just like the classic portal. Now that concludes the demo.